Could've chased the fast life, pretty faces, neon lights. Could've run from settling down, stayed out chasing Friday nights. But the day I saw you smiling, something in me knew, out of all the roads I could've taken, I chose you. Wasn't looking for perfection, wasn't chasing fairy tales, just a real heart I could count on when the whole world failed. She's the woman I chose, best decision I ever made. Through the ups and downs and crazy turns, she never walked away. I picked her with these calloused hands, with my eyes wide open wide. After all these years, I'm still damn proud. She's the woman I chose. She ain't the girl from magazines, never needed all that shine. She makes the best damn coffee, and she stands right by my side. Raised our kids with steady hands when I was lost at sea. Loved me on my worst days when I couldn't even love me. We built this life from nothing, brick by brick and day by day. And every time I look at her, I know I did okay. She's the woman I chose, best decision I ever made. Through the ups and downs and crazy turns, she never walked away. I picked her with these calloused hands, with my eyes wide open wide. After all these years, I'm still damn proud. She's the woman I chose. I don't regret the wild years or the paths I didn't take, 'cause every mile that led me here was worth it for her sake. If I had to do it over, same church, same suit, same vow, I'd look her in the eyes again and say, I choose you now. She's the woman I chose, and I choose her again in this lifetime, in the next one, until the very end. She's my quiet Sunday morning, my rock when the storm winds blow. Yeah, I'm the lucky man who gets to say, she's the woman I chose. After all this time, still mine, the woman I chose. The woman I chose. We started with nothing but a ring and a prayer. Young hearts full of fire, not a clue what was there. Life hit us hard like a summer storm. Jobs disappeared, money got torn, but we held on tighter when the winds blew cold. We bent, we cracked, we almost fell, but something in us rang like a church bell. It was a love that didn't break when the whole world tried to pull us apart. A love that didn't break when the nights got dark. We took every blow that life could throw, and still we stood together, hearts beating slow. Yeah, it was a love that didn't break. Didn't break. We watched our babies grow and then leave home. The house got quiet, but we weren't alone. You fought your battles, I carried the weight. Some days we argued, some days we prayed, but every morning I still reached for your hand. The years left lines around our eyes, but they never touched what we built inside. It was a love that didn't break when the whole world tried to pull us apart. A love that didn't break when the nights got dark. We took every blow that life could throw, and still we stood together, hearts beating slow. Yeah, it was a love that didn't break. Didn't break. We didn't have the perfect story, didn't live like in the movies. No fireworks every day, just quiet acts of choosing. But we chose each other when it wasn't easy to. And that's why after all this time, I'm still here with you. It was a love that didn't break, and it never will. Through the silver in our hair and the time can't kill, I can look back on this life with my head held high. 'Cause we had a love that didn't break. You and I. There's a love that didn't break. After all these years, through the joy and tears, we had a love that didn't break. Traveled many miles, chased jobs from town to town, slept in empty motel rooms when the money was running down. But no matter where the road would lead, or how far I had gone, one look at your face, girl, and I knew I was back home. Didn't need four walls and a roof, didn't need a fancy key. All I ever needed was you waiting there for me. You were my home when the world felt cold and wide. You were my home where my restless heart could hide. Every storm I ever faced, every battle I went through, I always made it back to you. 'Cause you were my home. kids grew up and moved away. The house got kinda still, but sitting on that old front porch with you is better than any thrill. Your laugh still feels like Sunday morning, your touch still feels like peace. After all these years of living, you're still my safe release. My hair is gray, my steps are slower, but nothing's really changed. My heart still knows exactly where it belongs. When I hear your name, you were my home. When the world felt cold and wide, you were my home, where my restless heart could hide. Every storm I ever faced, every battle I went through, I always made it back to you. 'Cause you were my home. I don't need the big adventures or the lights of some new town. I've seen enough of this old world to know what really matters now. If tomorrow takes me first, I want you to understand. Every road I ever walked, I was just trying to get back to your hands. You were my home, and you still are today. And every smile and every tear and every word we say, I thank God for the day He gave me somewhere I belong. You are my home. You'll always be my home. After all this time, through every mile, you were my home. You were my home. Looked at other women, yeah, I saw them passing by. Some had brighter smiles, some had fire in their eyes, but none of them could touch me like the way you did with one quiet look. You never tried to change me, you just loved me like an open book. Chased success and money, tried to be the man they said I should, but every time I came back home, it was you who made me feel good. You were always enough, even when I was hard to love. When the world felt heavy on my shoulders, you were more than enough. Through the doubts and the long nights, when I questioned who I was, you were always enough. Baby, you were always enough. We never had much luxury, just bills and kids and time. But you made our little kitchen feel like heaven when you smiled. You laughed at all my bad jokes, held me when I fell apart. You gave me strength I didn't know I had inside this stubborn heart. The years years have left their marks on us, lines around our eyes. But when I look at you today, my heart still feels alive. You were always enough, even when I was hard to love. When the world felt heavy on my shoulders, you were more than enough. Through the doubts and the long nights, when I questioned who I was, you were always enough. Baby, you were always enough. I don't need the perfect story, don't need the shining crown. All I need is you beside me when the sun goes down. If I could live this life again, I'd choose the same damn road. 'Cause every step that led me here was worth it just to hold. You were always enough, and you still are today. After all these gray hairs and the price we had to pay, I can stand here like a man and say it loud and true. You were always enough. Lord, I'm so damn lucky it was you. You were always enough, always enough. Through the years, through the tears, you were always enough. Just you, always enough. Got married again in '95, tried to build a brand new life. Raised 2 more kids, worked overtime, played the role of a good husband right. But late at night when the house got still, I'd stare at the ceiling fan, and somehow I'd still be back in 1988, holding your hand. I gave her everything I could, tried to be the man she deserved, but a part of me was always somewhere else, somewhere I never really left. My heart never moved on, no matter how hard I tried. It stayed right there with you on the day you said goodbye. I smiled for the pictures, I laughed when I should, but my heart never moved on. It never really could. Years kept rolling, hair turned gray. Grandkids call me on the phone, I watch them play, and I wonder if they'll ever know that their grandpa carries a quiet ache he never learned to shake. 'Cause even after all this time, my heart still calls your name. Don't regret the life I built, I don't wish for different days, but some love's just carved too deep to ever fade away. My heart never moved on, no matter how hard I tried. It stayed right there with you on the day you said goodbye. I smiled for the pictures, I laughed when I should, but my heart never moved on. It never really could. If I saw you walking down the street today, I'd probably just nod and smile, act like everything's okay, walk away after a while. But inside I'd be that young man again, standing in the pouring rain, wishing I could turn back time and do it all different once again. My heart never moved on, and I guess it never will. It's still stuck in that old chapter we never got to fill. After all these miles and all these years, the truth is plain to see. My heart never moved on. It's still right there with you, somewhere inside of me. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, my heart never moved on. It's still loving you. I saw a lot of pretty faces walking down those city streets, heard sweet words and empty promises from women I could have met. But every time my heart was tempted, something pulled me back to you. Like an anchor in the harbor, girl, you always saw me through. I never chased the spotlight, never needed something new, 'cause everything I wanted was already lying next to you. I never needed another, not for one single day. You were all the love I wanted, come what may. Through the good times and the hard ones, when the road got rough and long, I never needed another. You were my only song. We raised our kids together, watched them leave and find their way. We paid the bills, we fixed the roof on many cold and rainy days. You stood beside this stubborn man when I was wrong and when I'm right. And every night I'd fall asleep knowing you were by my side. The years have changed our bodies, but they never changed my mind. You're still the best decision I have ever made in life. I never needed another, not for one single day. You were all the love I wanted, come what may. Through the good times and the hard ones, when the road got rough and long, I never needed another. You were my only song. I don't regret the roads I didn't take or the chances left behind. 'cause every path that led me here was worth it just to find this quiet kind of heaven in your arms at end of day. A love that's steady, strong, and true in every single way. I never needed another, and I still don't need one now. After all these years together, I can honestly say somehow you're the reason I believe in love that lasts a lifetime long. I never needed another. You were my only song. No, I never needed another. You were always enough. Through the years, through the tears, I never needed another. Just you, only you. On our wedding day in '89, under that old church steeple, I stood there nervous in my suit, but my heart was steady as a needle. I looked into your eyes and said the words that meant the most, for better or for worse, till death do us part. I swear I'll love you close. Life tested every word I spoke. It pulled and pushed us hard. Jobs were lost and dreams got broken, but I never dropped my guard. I kept my promise. Through the fire and the rain, I kept my promise. Even when the road brought pain, I stayed right here beside you, never turned and walked away. After all these years, my darling, I kept my promise today. Buried friends and lost some battles, watched our babies leave the nest. Money got tight, tempers flared, but somehow we stood the test. I held you when the nights were long, carried you when you were weak, fixed what broke and said I'm sorry, even when it hurt to speak. I wasn't always perfect, Lord knows I made my share of mistakes, but I never broke the vow I made on the day I took your name. I kept my promise. Through the fire and the rain, I kept my promise. Even when the road brought pain, I stayed right here beside you, never turned and walked away. After all these years, my darling, I kept my promise today. Now the mirror shows an older man with silver in his hair, but when I look at you across the room, I still see that girl standing there. If tomorrow comes and takes me first, I want the world to know I loved you like I promised right up until I had to go. I kept my promise, and I'd do it all again. Every tear, every struggle, every now and then I can hold my head up high and say without a doubt, I kept my promise to you, baby. I never let you down. Yeah, I kept my promise. I kept my promise. Through the years, through it all, I kept my promise to you, my love. I kept my promise. We never yelled I love you from the rooftop in the rain. Never danced in the kitchen like they do in movies, again and again. We just paid the bills on time, fixed the roof when it would leak. You made the coffee strong, I made sure the car would start each week. You didn't need the fireworks, didn't chase the butterfly feeling. What we had was quieter, but it was real and it was healing. Love ain't always loud, sometimes it's soft and slow. It's in the way you still reach for me when the morning lights start to glow. It's the silence when we're driving, your hand resting on my knee. Love ain't always loud, but it's loud enough for me. We buried friends and lost some dreams, watched our bodies start to change. Some nights we barely said a word, but the comfort felt the same. You never asked for roses, I never wrote you poetry, but we showed up for each other. That was our kind of loyalty. The world keeps screaming romance like it has to shake the ground, but after all these years I've learned what really holds it down. Love ain't always loud, sometimes it's soft and slow. It's in the way you still reach for me when the morning lights start to glow. It's the silence when we're driving, your hand resting on my knee. Love ain't always loud, but it's loud enough for me. We don't need the big declarations or the passion of our youth. What we build is steady, water deep and calm and true. If tomorrow takes me first, I want the world to know I loved you in the quiet ways that only old hearts know. Love ain't always loud, and I'm glad we never tried to make it something flashy that would fade when the years went by. It's the peace when the day is over, It's the trust when the lights go dim. Love ain't always loud, but I choose this love again and again. After all this time, still yours, still mine. Love ain't always loud, but it's ours, and that's just fine.
Looking back through all the years we've worn like old blue jeans, faded patches where we fought and places love came clean. We raised some hell, we raised some kids, we buried dreams along the way. But every storm we weathered made me love you more each day.
I remember nights I almost walked out that screen door. Angry words like bullets leaving holes across the floor.
You stood your ground with tear-streaked cheeks and held on tight to us. Darling, in the silence after, I learned what real love does. If I had it all to do over, if the good Lord gave the chance, I'd walk that same road hand in hand, through every circumstance, through the laughter and the leaving, through the joy and through the pain. I'd choose you again, I'd choose you again. Every single time I'd choose you again. We've got silver in our hair now, lines around our eyes, but your touch still feels like fire under these same skies. We don't dance like we used to, but we sway real slow and sweet in this quiet little kitchen where our hearts still meet.
I ain't perfect, never claimed to be, but you love me anyway. Pick me up when I was broken, turn my nights into day.
If tomorrow brings another sunrise and we get one more spin, honey, know this for certain, I choose you again. If I had it all to do over, if the good Lord gave the chance, I'd walk that same road hand in hand, through every circumstance, through the highs and all the heartaches, through the sunshine and the rain. I choose you again, I choose you again. Every single lifetime I choose you again. Maybe we'd change a few things, dodge a few hard falls,
but I wouldn't trade a moment, darling, not one at all.
'Cause this love we built together is the truest story told. Worn and warm and forever, worth more than any gold. If I had it all to do over, right here where we stand, I'd say I do 1,000 times, reach out for your hand. No matter where the road goes, no matter how it ends, I choose you again, I choose you again. Oh, I choose you again. again and again.
We were barely scraping by, bills piling on the table. You were scared, I was tired, both of us unstable. Friends said I should leave and find an easier road, but I looked at you and knew I wasn't going anywhere close. Life got heavy, love got tested, nights felt long and mean. But quitting wasn't in my blood, and you were worth the fight in me. I stayed when it got hard, when the money wasn't there. I stayed when it got hard, through the worry and the wear. When the world said walk away, I dug my heels in deep. I stayed when it got hard, 'cause losing you was cheaper than defeat. You got sick and I got angry at a God I couldn't see. Watched our dreams get rearranged by reality. Some mornings I woke up wondering how we'd make it through, but every time I felt like running, I chose to stay for you. I wasn't always strong, I had my days of doubt, but I kept showing up for us when the easy way was out. I stayed when it got hard, when the money wasn't there. I stayed when it got hard, through the worry and the wear. When the world said walk away, I dug my heels in deep. I stayed when it got hard, 'cause losing you was cheaper than defeat. Now the kids are grown, the storms have passed us by. We sit here on this porch with coffee underneath the sky. My hair is gray, my hands are rough, but my heart is finally clear. I do every hard day over just to keep you near. I stayed when it got hard, and I'm still standing here. After all these years of fighting, you're still my atmosphere. I can look you in the eyes and say without regret, I stayed when it got hard, and I'd stay all over again. When it got hard, I stayed for you. I stayed fighting just to get by. Bills stacked high, temper short, some nights we made each other cry. Jaws got lost, dreams got delayed, pressure pulled from every side. But I planted both my feet right there, right by your side. I watched other men run when it got too hard to stay, but something in this heart of mine refused to walk away. I never walked away, not even when the storm got loud. I never walked away when the whole world felt like falling down. I stood right here beside you through the fire and the rain. Baby, I never walked away. I never walked away. You fought that battle with your health. I sat there holding your hand, watched our babies leave the house, felt the silence fill the land. Some friends said I should move on, find something easier to do. But every time they spoke those words, all I saw was you. I could have packed my bags and left like so many others do, but the man I wanted to be was the one who stayed for you. I never walked away, not even when the storm got loud. I never walked away when the whole world felt like falling down. I stood right here beside you through the fire and the rain. Baby, I never walked away. I never walked away. Now we're older, slower, wiser than we ever thought we'd be. Gray hair in the mirror, but you're still the best part of me. If tomorrow comes and takes one of us, I want the world to know I kept my boots right here on the ground. I never let you go. I never walked away, and I'm still standing here today. Through every tear and every fear, I chose to stay. I can look you in the eyes and say without a doubt, I never walked away, my love, and I never will walk out. No, I never walked away. I never walked away. Through the years, through it all, I stayed right here. I never walked away from you. From you. Never had the spotlight, never danced under neon lights. Just a front porch swing, quiet talks on long summer nights. Life through its curves, we took some hits, watched the years roll on. But every time the wind got cold, we kept each other warm. We didn't need the fancy words or promise is so grand, what we built was made of steel, not castles made of sand. Love like ours don't fade, it only grows deeper with time. Like an old oak tree standing tall through the storm and the shine. It's in the way you still look at me when the morning light breaks through. After all these years, my darling, I'm still in love with you. Yeah, love like ours don't fade, don't fade. Hair turns silver, steps a little slower than before, but your laugh still hits me harder than it did in '84. We buried dreams and said goodbye to friends we held so dear, but the fire in this old heart still burns crystal clear. We chose each other every day when it wasn't always easy, through the laughter and the tears. You were always my reason. Love like ours don't fade, it only grows deeper with time. Like an old oak tree standing tall through the storm and the shine. It's in the way you still hold my hand when the day is almost through. After all these miles together, I'm still so in love with you. Yeah, love like ours don't fade, don't fade. We don't chase the young man's fire or the passion of our youth. What we have is steady, honest, and it carries the truth. If tomorrow takes me first, I know you'll carry on with this love we built together, forever living strong. Love like ours don't fade, no matter what the years may bring. It's the quiet kind of miracle that makes my old heart sing. When the final curtain falls and the lights are growing dim, I'll still be loving you with everything I am. Yeah, love like ours don't fade. Love like ours don't fade. After all this time, you're still mine. Love like ours don't fade. We started with a rented house and a beat-up Chevrolet, a few boxes and some dreams we barely knew how to say. I worked the long hours, you held down the fort at home. We planted seeds in rocky soil and watched our garden grow. We didn't have a blueprint, didn't have a master plan. We just woke up every morning and chose to build again. I built a life with you, brick by brick and day by day. Through the laughter and the hard times, we found our way. Every wall we raised together, every roof we put above, this house, this home, this beautiful life, I built it all with you, my raised those kids the best we could, taught them wrong from right, watched them spread their wings and fly into the fading light. We paid off every mortgage, fixed every broken thing, and in between the chaos, we still found time to dream. Hands got rougher, your smile got softer with the years, but every scar we earned together only made the picture clear. I built a life with you, brick by brick and day by day. Through the laughter and the hard times, we found our way. Every wall we raised together, every roof we put above, this house, this home, this beautiful life, I built it all with you, my love. Now the rooms are quieter, the kids have homes of their own, but when I look across the table, I still see the girl I've known. If I could do it all again, same struggles, same fight, I'd still choose these calloused hands to build this life with you every night. I built a life with you, and I'd do it all once more. Every tear, every triumph, every open door. I can stand here like a man and say without a doubt, this is the greatest thing I ever built. I built a life with you. Brick by brick, day by day, I built a life with you. I've been driving these back roads, chasing ghosts from 82. 40 years since I watched you leave, still don't know what I should do. I raised the kids, I built a life, buried dreams I used to hold, but your name still echoes louder than any story I've been told. Time has been kind to my hands, but it's been cruel to my heart. Some nights I still reach for you in the quiet and the dark. If you're still out there, somewhere under the same old stars, if your heart still remembers who we almost were, I'd drive 1,000 miles, swallow every bit of pride, just to look in your eyes one more time. If you're still out tried to move on forward, found a good woman along the way. She gave me years of comfort, but something always felt great. She deserved better than half a heart that still belonged to you. I did my best to love her right, but part of me stayed true to you. We're older now, hair turning gray, but the ache don't seem to fade. Some loves just carve their names too deep to ever be erased. If you're still out there, somewhere under the same old stars, if your heart still remembers who we almost were, I'd trade all these lessons, all these years that I've learned, for one more chance to hold you. If you're still out there, don't need the fireworks, don't need the wild and free. I just want the quiet kind of love, the one that's meant to be. We're slower now, we're wiser now, but my heart still knows the truth. Some fires never really die, they just wait for me and you. If you're still out there, come on home to me. Let's write the ending that we never got to see. No more running, no more what ifs, no more living in between, just you and me. If you're still out there, God, I pray you're still out there. If you're still out there, I'm still right here, waiting, still waiting for you. Packed up my old Chevy, left this town back in '93. Thought a new city and new faces would finally set me free. But every mile I drove away, your memory rode shotgun. Funny how the heart keeps places even when the running's done. Built a life, I found success, I even wore a ring, but something in my chest still felt like it refused to sing. Some loves never leave, they just hide behind the years. They whisper in the quiet nights and show up in your tears. No matter who I held at night or how far I tried to run, some loves never leave, and mine was always you, the only one. Now the kids call on Sundays, my hair's turning gray. I sit here on this front porch, watching time just slip away. You're somewhere with another life, maybe happy as can be. But But every time the wind blows soft, it still sounds like you to me. I don't regret the roads I took, I don't wish for yesterday, but part of me still carries you in everything I say. Some loves never leave, they just hide behind the years. They whisper in the quiet nights and show up in your tears. No matter who I held at night or how far I tried to run, some loves never leave, and mine was always you, the only one. We were young and wild and reckless, burn bright and burn too fast, but the fire left an ember that the years could never pass. If I saw you on the street today, I'd probably smile and walk on by, but my heart would still be screaming, you were always mine. Some loves never leave, no matter how the story ends. They live inside these calloused hands and every gray hair that I've earned. I can't look back without anger, without wishing we could change, 'cause some loves never leave. And darling, mine never changed. Some loves never leave, they just stay right here with me. Some loves never leave. Back in '88, when I slipped that ring on your hand, I made a promise in front of God and our family and friends. But that was just the starting line, not the whole damn race. 'Cause love ain't something you say once and then put away. Every morning when the alarm clock rang, every night when the day was done and the fighting began, I looked at you and made the choice again. I chose you every day when the money got tight. I chose you every day through every long hard night. When the kids were screaming and the world felt heavy on my chest, I still chose you. I chose you every day. I chose you when you were tired and your words cut like a knife. I chose you when I was angry and wanted an easier life. I chose you when the doctor gave us news we didn't want to hear. I chose you when the silence between us was louder than our fear. Wasn't always easy, wasn't always pretty or right, but quitting was never an option in this stubborn heart of mine. I chose you every day when the money money got tight, I chose you every day, through every long, hard night. When the kids were screaming and the world felt heavy on my chest, I still chose you. I chose you every day. Now the hair is gray and the steps are slower than before. The house is quieter, but my heart still knows the score. If God gave me one more lifetime, same struggles, same fight, I'd wake up every morning and still choose you every night. I chose you every day, and I'd do it all again. Through the laughter and the tears, through the thick and through the thin, I can stand here like a man and say without regret, I chose every single day. And I choose you, yeah. Every sunrise, every sunset, I chose you. I chose you.